Okay, so picture this. It's Sunday night, you're scrolling through your phone, and you see your rent is due in 3 days. Your bank account is looking, let's just say, optimistic. And you think to yourself, there's gotta be a way to make extra cash without getting a second job that ruins my life, right?
Look, I've been there. We've all been there. And that's exactly why I spent an entire week testing 5 of the most bizarre side hustles I could find online. I'm talking pet rock art, selling haunted items, and 3 other absolutely wild ideas that people swear will make you money.
But here's the thing, and this is what nobody tells you. Most side hustle advice is complete garbage. So today, I'm going to show you the actual numbers, what worked, what crashed and burned, and the one psychological trap that almost everyone falls into when trying to make extra money. All right, side hustle number 1, painting faces on rocks and selling them as pet rocks on Etsy. Now, you might be thinking, seriously, people actually buy rocks with googly eyes? And yeah, I thought the same thing. But here's what most people don't realize. The pet rock industry, yes, that's a real thing, generated over $15 million in 1975, and it's making a comeback. So I spent Monday painting 20 rocks. Cost me $12 for supplies. Time invested? About 4 hours. I listed them for $8 each on Etsy and Facebook Marketplace. The results? I sold exactly 3, made $24, which means after Etsy fees and my initial investment, I netted about $8. That's $2 per hour. Look, here's the psychology lesson everybody misses. When you're broke and desperate, you'll try anything that promises quick money. But your time has a value, and $2 an hour is less than a quarter of minimum wage. Side hustle number 2 got weird fast, selling haunted items online. And yes, this is real. There's literally a market on eBay for supposedly haunted dolls, mirrors, and jewelry. Some of these items sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So I hit up thrift stores, bought 5 random old items for about $15 total, wrote up some creepy backstories, and listed them as haunted. I'm talking about a mirror that shows shadows that aren't there, and a vintage brooch that brings prophetic dreams. Well, I felt ridiculous, but guess what? I sold 2 items within 48 hours, made $87 total. After fees and costs, I cleared about $65. Now here's what blew my mind. The buyer of the $45 mirror sent me a message saying it was exactly what they'd been looking for. But let me tell you the thing most people don't understand about weird niches like this. You're not actually selling a product. You're selling a story, an experience, an emotion. That mirror wasn't worth $45 as an object, but as a conversation piece, as something that makes someone feel like they're part of something mysterious, that's where the value is. Side Hustle 3, flipping free items from Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. This one actually makes sense on paper. People give away furniture, electronics, and random stuff all the time. You grab it, clean it up, and resell it. I spent Wednesday driving around picking up free stuff. Got a bookshelf, a coffee table, and an old Xbox 360. Total investment? Just gas money, about $12. Cleaned everything up on Thursday, took decent photos, listed them. The bookshelf sold for $30, the coffee table for $45, the Xbox still sitting in my garage. Net profit about $51 after gas and cleaning supplies. But here's the part nobody talks about, the hidden costs. My car now smells like someone's basement. I spent 6 hours driving, cleaning, and dealing with flaky buyers. That's $8.50 an hour. The end result is that flipping can work, but only if you specialize. The people making real money aren't grabbing random free stuff. They're targeting specific items they understand. Vintage furniture, electronics, collectibles. They know the market, they know the value, and they're not wasting time on $30 bookshelves. Side Hustle 4, online surveys. Look, I had to include this because it's probably the most advertised side hustle on the internet. Make $500 a day from your couch, right? I signed up for 3 different survey sites and spent Friday grinding surveys during every free moment. Total time invested, 5 hours. Total earnings, $23. That's $4.60 per hour. And most of that came from sign-up bonuses, not actual surveys. Here's the brutal truth that the survey companies don't want you to know. They're designed to pay you just enough to keep you hooked, but never enough to actually matter. And finally, Side Hustle 5, creating short-form content for brands on social media. I reached out to 15 local small businesses on Saturday offering to create 3 TikToks or Instagram Reels for $50. Got 3 responses. 2 said no, 1 said yes. I spent about 2 hours creating 3 15-second videos for a local coffee shop. They paid me $50 via Venmo. After taxes, I kept about $43. That's roughly $21.50 per hour. But here's where it gets interesting. That coffee shop loved the videos, asked if I could do it monthly. Suddenly, I've got a recurring $200 per month client for about 8 hours of work. That's $25 an hour, and it's repeatable. Now, most people miss this completely. The real money in side hustles isn't in one-time gigs, it's in recurring revenue. It's in building a skill that compounds. Every video I make, I get faster. Every client I land, I learn how to pitch better. So what actually worked from my weird week? The haunted items and social media content. And you know why? They weren't about grinding hours, they were about understanding what people actually want. People don't buy haunted mirrors because they're mirrors. They buy them because they want mystery, conversation, connection to something bigger. The coffee shop didn't hire me because I'm the world's best videographer. They hired me because I solved a problem they had, getting attention online, in a way that was easy for them. That's the real secret. Stop asking, how can I make money, and start asking, what problem can I solve for someone who has money? Every dollar in your bank account is just a receipt for value you provided to someone else. If you want more receipts, provide more value. Here's the crazy part. Most problems that pay well aren't even that hard to solve. They just require you to pay attention. When I was painting those pet rocks, I was competing with thousands of people doing the exact same thing. When I was doing surveys, I was literally the most replaceable person on earth. But when I reached out to that coffee shop with a specific solution to their specific problem, I was the only one who did that. There was no competition. Here's what most people don't realize. The less competition you have, the more you can charge. And the way you eliminate competition isn't by being the best in the world, it's by being the only one showing up for that specific person with that specific solution. All right, so if you're watching this because you need extra money, and let's be real, that's why we're all here, here's what I want you to do. Step 1, stop chasing random side hustles. Seriously, stop. You're scattering your focus and learning nothing that compounds. Step 2, pick one skill that interests you and that businesses pay for. Video editing, writing, social media management, graphic design, web design, even just being good at Excel. Just one. Step 3, spend 10 hours this week learning that skill for free on YouTube. Not taking a course, learning, actually doing it. Step 4, reach out to 10 small businesses in your area and offer to do one project for cheap, like $50 to $100. Not free, never free, but cheap enough that they'll say yes. Step 5, deliver something incredible. Get a testimonial. Raise your rates for the next client. Look, in 30 days of doing this, you won't be rich, but you'll have a skill that's worth $25 to $50 an hour. You'll have proof you can do it, and you'll have a path forward that actually builds wealth instead of just paying next month's rent. Here's the thing nobody tells you about money. Making your first extra $1,000 is way harder than making your next $10,000. Because that first $1,000 teaches you how to create value. It teaches you how to sell. It teaches you that you're capable of making money appear out of thin air just by solving problems.
This week taught me that weird side hustles can work, but they work best when you stop thinking like someone trying to scrape together gas money and start thinking like someone building a business.
You don't need 5 side hustles. You need one skill, one niche, and the confidence to charge what you're worth. So stop selling painted rocks, stop filling out surveys, and start building something that makes you more valuable every single day. If this video helped you see side hustles differently, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more real talk about money without the BS. And drop a comment telling me, what skill are you going to learn
What
this
skill?
month? I'll see you in the next one. Now go make some money.